Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How you lovely people doing? Welcome to vlog number 55. I hope you enjoyed watching me fuck around with Nick yesterday. Unfortunately, it put me a little behind schedule, but I'm not super worried about that. I think maybe I'm just moving slow at the beginning, and hopefully I'll catch back up. We're gonna get the pelvis done today. I'm sorry, the torso. We're gonna get the torso done today, and then I'm gonna start on the pelvis too. Hopefully we'll get some of that done too. But I'm essentially done with like the main parts of the torso. If this was draft 1, I would be done with it. But now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add some skin to it, and then I need to add foam supports and stuff like that. So I have a few things like that I need to go add. But we're pretty close. All right, guys, here it is. So here I'm gonna show you guys it with it all together like that, and then now I'm gonna turn off the body like that, and I'm gonna turn off the breastplate and the back plate just like that. So now you can see all the internals. So something interesting that's happening here is like these pieces right here, this right here, this and this, these are where exomuscles insert. This is on the back one right here. These two are on the front. They are literally not working correctly because like you see there's parts missing in here and in here, and this got all wonky, and literally this file I think is so big on Fusion 360 that it's having trouble processing it correctly. My computer was getting hot working on it. Like, it's interesting. I don't really know what to do. I definitely couldn't put anything more complicated in here, and what I might have to do is leave these parts out, like the anchors and stuff that add a lot of complexity. I might just have to put a single one in there and then just kind of do at the very end just to make sure that it does indeed fit. But it's like another thing is if you look over here, this isn't wide enough. This is actually coming through the body over here. Like you can see right there where it's kind of coming through, like right there it's coming through. Right there it's coming through, and I tried to adjust that, but it messed up. It wouldn't work. Like there's just too much going on, and everything's, even though there's a history to it, and you should theoretically be able to fix it upstream and have it fixed downstream. I can't do it, so I got to get that right next time on the draft 3. I have to do that at the beginning and make sure I get that right. So hopefully this one will actually be buildable. It just probably wouldn't actually fit me, at least like in there, you know, and there'll probably be some other mistakes like that as well. But we're getting there. It is look pretty fucking cool with all the anchors in there for the muscles in there. I like that. I mean, it's looking really good. It's just not perfect. So I still need to, I haven't added any foam supports. I need to do that. And I haven't added any skin on this, and so I'm still thinking about how exactly I want to do that, and I still need to do the foam support, so I still have a little bit of stuff to do. Right now I'm going to go for a run. Back from my run, gonna make lunch. Been thinking about how I'm going to make this thing go quicker, because right now I think it's taking about 5 days to, I also smoke some pot. It's taking about 5 days to work on the torso, and I think I'll complete that today, pretty sure. I'm still thinking through. Wheels are still spinning on how to do the skin and the foam support, but I'm getting there on that. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to revisit the build order when I finish this and make sure I have that as figured out as possible, because I think it'll make things go faster if I can get things a little bit more refined on that thing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through and I'm going to take the build order. I'm going to revisit that after I finish the torso today. Yeah. Oh, I was thinking about something cool there's going to be graphic around my genital area. So I think what I'm going to do is there's going to be like a pelvis piece here, and that's going to be a front plate, and there's going to be a bar that comes down, and then another bar. So like 3 bars like this, and that'll give me that nice cod piece shaped thingy, merbob. And then I'm going to put skinned metal on the outside of that, and that'll give it a little bit more shape instead of just having a flat piece come straight down, making me look like a Ken doll. I think this will look a little better. So, and it'll be just more functional too, be more supported. So that was one thing I thought of while I was out there. I'm gonna make a sandwich. All right, guys, this thing is slowly inching itself together. It's like it's taking forever, man. I'm worried about building this. It's taking like 5 days. If I multiply that, and I'm still not done. If I take that and multiply that by the number of suits I have, that's what, almost 70 days. Oh god, that's a long time. I hope it doesn't take that long. Hopefully it's just I'm getting my feet wet with the building, and I'll start to figure it out on the draft 2, and the further ones will go faster on the draft 2. I'll show it to you really quick here. Here it is. So this is like the sheet metal that I sculpted on there. So this is not something I would actually manufacture from here. So I would never actually use this file to do any manufacturing. This is just an idea of the shape. This is what I would hammer out and build out and weld on by hand after. But oh, it's getting there, man. It's just I haven't done the foam or the foam supports yet. So that's what I need to do next. So that's where I'm going next. But it's this file is like really starting to break down, like stuff isn't mirroring correctly. I mean, there's something like there's 117 components, and some of them are mirrored, so there's more than 117 components. So quite a few of them mirrored, actually. Look at all those mirrored components. There's a lot more than 117 components in this. This thing is incredibly complicated. It's a very complicated thing that I'm building. All right, if I haven't mentioned how much I love Fusion 360 and how amazing that software is, let me show you something that I just discovered that's going to make my life much, much easier building this thing. All right, so here's my file, right? The name of this file is Torso Attempt 2, because it's the second time I've tried to make this, if you remember. So that's it right there, yeah? And then these are all, well, those are the sketches. They're the components. There are all the components for that. Okay, so you got that. Now if we look over here, this is a Torso Attempt 2 foam. The reason I did this is because this file was getting so complicated that I couldn't build on it anymore. It was getting too slow. It was starting to break in certain places. It was getting too complicated for the program to finish. So what I did is I put this over here, and I was going to take these components and paste them in over here. But once I take them and I paste them in, I have to I can't change them, if that makes sense. If I make a change here, it won't change over there. But what I just realized is there's a way to do that in Fusion 360. So if I'll come over here and I'll click on this, and then I'll come back. So there is that component, right? Right? Savvy? But look over here. This, you see that little link right there? That means it's linked, and this is Torso Attempt 2. So I brought this in, linked it. And then if I do something in here, if I go in here real quick, watch. If I go in here, and I save this, so I'm gonna click save. Okay, boom, just saved it. Now, if I go over here, it says, you get that right there? It says it's not up to date. So I can take it right here, and I can hit get latest, and then I do that, and it's thinking right now, it's getting the latest, and then it's gonna come in, and what you're gonna see is the body's gonna turn on, because I saved the other file with the body, and so it's gonna bring in the body on this one. Boom, look at that, haha. That is awesome. That makes it really easy for me to link each part to the other part, and actually and do it this way, because before I had to pull it perfectly. I couldn't change it at all. Now I can go back and I can change upstream, not just down here in the history, but I can literally change the torso, and it'll change it if I pulled it into the lumbar or something like that, which is really, really good. All right, let me explain what's happening with Fusion 360 here so you guys feel my pain. It should work to do what I just said, to link that in and pull it in, but the sketch that I made the part is so complicated that I can't actually use it at all. I can't do any sketches off of it, so it's actually useless. So I have to go back and just paste it in, which means it won't be linked. I think if I had made a better part, it would have worked. So hopefully I'll be able to do it on future sketches. It's just not going to be linked to the torso. I could actually make the torso. I could do an attempt 3 on the torso. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I don't know if I want to do that or not. I'd be a lot faster at it if I did that. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a third attempt on it. It's kind of crazy, and I need to move on, sort of, kind of. I don't know. Let me think. I'm starting over. I'm here in draft 2 in the components folder, and in that folder I have 2 called caps and origins. In the caps I have a 2-inch number 6 cap, and in the origins I have an origins and insertions I'm working on, and this is this over here. So I'm working on that over there, and then there is your 2-inch number 6 cap right there. Components, skeletons, deep and superficial right here. These are the metal parts that are welded together. This will be feeding over here, which will be the foam. So these lines represent linked files. So these files will link in here into the foam and into the component, or into the skin. And then the skeletons will come into the foam, so I'll build the foam off the skeletons.
If I need components, I'll make them for it. And then I'll put the skeleton into the skin. I'll build the skin off of the skeletons. And if I need components for those, I'll make it for it. And this way everything's connected, but I can process it on my computer. And here you have components, skeletons, skin, and instead of foam, I'm calling it support. Here was attempt 1. Here was attempt 2. I think attempt 3 is going to be money. I think I'm starting to figure this out. I think I'm starting to figure out how it's going together. I just had to get the wheel spinning. I just had to get it there. I think it's going to be a lot better. You can see on it how it was starting to really start to form. It was actually starting to look pretty good, I thought. It was just, there's too much in it. So I think if this works, hopefully this will work. Hopefully this linking things together will work. If that works, and I think like I said, I had problems with it, but I was trying to link in that really complicated thing that was breaking in its own file. So I was trying to link in attempt 2 on the torso. And so I think that's why it wasn't working, is because the source file was all fucked up. So it couldn't bring it into another file reliably. And it was like, I was trying to do projections off of it, and it's like, nah, man, that thing's fucked. I can't touch that shit. What are you doing? I think it does. I think Fusion does something to simplify a file and make it a little simpler, and just kind of locks everything in place. So I think that's why it's able to pull in more. I'm hoping anyway that it'll be easier on the machine to pull in multiple things if we do it this way. And it'll force me to focus on breaking the thing down into its fundamental parts, right? So you have like the skeleton part needs to be a skeleton part. It needs to be the framing and all the skeleton. And then the anchors really need to be their own thought out thing. And like I thought about, one of the things I did was the cap. And so what that is, by the way, since I didn't think I really said, is like on the hinge joints, the bolts will sit down in those recesses, and then those will be like how you bolt the superficial part together. So on like the side of the shoulder, there's just a straight up hinge joint, and that thing will come in, and the bolts of the superficial, the bolts will come in superficial, deep to superficial. So you'll bolt in from the superficial side, or the deep side of the superficial skeleton, and bolt that cap onto the end, and then that cap is nice and smooth and pretty, and we can sand it down and fiberglass it like the rest of it, and then spray paint it to be really shiny at the end. And I'm starting to think how I'm going to make the suit essentially like seamless. That's what I want, like it really smooth. It's like the first attempt, like all the parts that are holding together are sticking out. I'm getting rid of all that on attempt 3. That'll all be gone, which is cool. So stuff like that makes this all a lot better, I think. So yeah, I think we're getting there. I think this is going to be a lot better. I think this is the right move. It's bothering me that it's taking so long because it's putting me behind schedule, but I think it's the right thing. I think I got to think this stuff through and figure it out and do it right. And then what I'm expecting is once I start to figure it out and get in the rhythm of it, I think this is the reason that the legs and the hands like started to go easier than like the beginning of the last time I did this, of draft 1. So I think by actually taking more time and doing more drafts at the beginning of draft 2 and kind of wrinkling out and starting to get my traction going at the right time, it'll start me off with a stronger base, and I'll have a better chance of finishing strong and it kind of being more homogeneous. Because like I said, I really want this one to actually be buildable if possible. The first one, I could not have built it. It would not have worked. It would not have gone together. Nothing. Draft 1 would not have done that. I want draft 2 to be where I could build it. And then what I'm going to do in draft 3, I'm going to be like, I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to get it perfect. And that's going to be the one I'm going to build. So that's what I want. Hopefully that'll work. You guys are awesome. If you're watching this for the first time, subscribe to my channel so that I can grow, because I'm tiny right now. If not, I love you guys. You're awesome. Have a great night.